Hi guys, today I am wanting to speak to anyone who is an MK Ultra survivor. If you were in a Monarch program or a super soldier, any of these kind of programs, I wanted to speak specifically about a few things that might help you. As a survivor myself, I know in the beginning it was extremely hard when I started to remember, and that was in the 90s, and there wasn't a lot of help and nobody talked about it. And if you did, you were shamed and told you're crazy. Today, luckily, a lot of people are talking about it and a lot of people can get some help. And so I wanted to just share that there is a possibility of why so many people right now are starting to remember that they have these issues. And it is my belief that you were told, just like I was, our entire life, to keep the secret, to never reveal certain people who were involved. And what I believe has happened, at least in the last 3 years that I'm aware of, that people have openly spoke about these same people that told us to be quiet. They are out there, and most of the world know that they're Luciferians, that they have sacrificed, how they hurt children. They know what they do, and they know who they are, and they know what they're doing as a politician, as a businessman. So what I believe is happening is that a lot of people, their programming is starting to break down because we're seeing that these people are not keeping a secret. And it was the secret that we were supposed to keep and were tortured to keep. And yet here, the whole world knows about these people. So what I am witnessing in my own practice is that more and more people are calling and they're saying, you know what, in the last 2 years, I've gotten triggered, like maybe by the masks, all these mandates, stay alone, isolated. And I started to remember what's happened to me. Some people know they have some memories and maybe they pretty much are guessing what they've got inside, and others know quite a bit of what they have. And so I wanted to tell you that if this is your history, be gentle with yourself because it is a process. You can't get healed overnight, but I do believe you can get healed quickly, a lot quicker than what I was really given as far as opportunities of healing back in the 90s. I've been on this journey for a really long time, and they back then didn't have a lot of choice as far as getting help, and mainly because nobody knew about it, but mostly it was just talk therapy. Now we have a lot of healing modalities. And I'd just like to share something with you guys that I found in my incredibly long journey of talk therapy for 20 years. And then in the last 11 years, I found healing modalities that were really what changed my life. And so that I can let go of the past. What happened is I'd already had a ton of memories come up in the 20 years of talk therapy. So I started to remember, and, I knew pretty well about, most of it. Amazingly enough, I still had more to remember. But I realized after going to therapy for so long, if you don't have a way to release the emotional pain, you are stuck in that, and your parts of you are stuck in that pain and will continue to create from that pain. One of the modalities that really helped me was a tapping modality I like, which is Eutaptics. It uses a lot of different modalities in it. And I was able to go take these memories of, of all the different stuff, what happens, and change them. And what I mean by changing them, I would use the modality of tapping and release the emotional pain. And as I began to release the emotional pain, it started to shift and change in my body. And when it started to shift and change in my body and in my mind, I can now think of those same things, and I have no emotional charge to it. And I believe that's what God wants us to do. I believe he has given us these ways of healing at the same time that he knew many, many people are going to need this. Some of you guys know I have written a book to help people with, it's for the puzzle pieces. It's to help, I wrote it specifically for this, to help therapists and survivors know what the pieces are of the programming. I am almost done with my second book, which will now take the first book and put it all together for you so that you can know how to remove some of these things. The key in my mind, and I'm only speaking from my own experience, is you got to know what they did. You got to know what's inside of you and what programs are running. I did not know until really actually several years ago I had no idea that this was what they do is all a pattern. So they have a pattern of programming people, and that same kind of programming is done to everyone, everywhere. So yes, there's going to be people that put in different things, but they have to put in the foundation of the programming. So I want you to understand that there is a rhyme and reason to what they're doing, so it's easier to figure it out and to release it. There's also something that I am just going to throw out there. If you guys have a question, you can write me. Laura at laurajworley.com is where you can write. I'm going to say this in a very, very gentle way. And it's not to scare you. It is to make you aware and to see if you might have this programming. Because all of you know that the New World Order is they're trying to bring it to pass. Well, many people that were in the MK Ultra, I would say all people, that were given a program, and they were programmed a lot of their life for the day that the New World Order would come about. So there is an inactive, dormant program that is in, I believe, each and every one that has any kind of mind control programming, and that you will do a certain job and you'll be activated during this time. I'm going to start doing some videos to show you how you might maybe ask and find out from yourself. But if you have a professional, check and see if you have, I call it the Army programming, but it is the New World Order programming. And if by chance you have it, you've got to undo it. You've got to get it undone, okay? Because they're going to activate it during this time. And sooner or later, I will share more about that, but I just wanted to kind of let you know that. There's also, if any military people are looking, I know for a fact that they put in different chips, different kinds of chips that they can send frequencies to. And with those frequencies, they can control somebody's mind to make them do what they want. And they're going to be activating that as well during the New World Order. They're also going to be, well, they've done all kinds of things to the military. And this is something that I know for sure. And if you feel like you have something inside that doesn't make sense, I would also just ask you to think about seeing if you can get some help and figure out if that's something that you might have, because I feel like we have a very short time to stop what they're trying to do. And that's really my goal. And that's why I believe God has asked me to come out at this time. I always knew I would, I just didn't know when. And I was very careful to wait to the right time. And in 2019, I wrote my book, which took a year and then almost another year to get it published. But I believe it's because right now people are ready and they're willing to hear and believe what is going on in the world for decades. And I hope that you are finding what you need, but especially, and I know this is hard, is to find love for yourself and forgiveness. And when you start to remember this, sometimes it's like it's all coming in at once, but it's really important for when you're having these memories that you also try to go do some good things to change your mind from those negative feelings and beliefs. Like go in nature. I feel like that's the most healing thing. Whatever you like to do, go watch something, be with people. Don't just sit in that for a long period of time. I used to do that, and it's the worst thing you could do. Sometimes I know it's hard to say that, but I didn't know how important it was to break what we call break our trance through fast EFT and eutaptics. We have to get ourselves out And sometimes it's just a simple thing that we can do, you know, and that's okay. If it's just a simple thing, just try to not let your mind dwell on this 24/7. And another way, if you're already aware of things that you know have happened, but you're not really sure, like, you know, beyond that, a great way to let your different parts, different ages of you speak is to do freehand writing without any worry about grammar. Just write and let those parts of you talk. And sometimes what I have found in my writing is I will get absolute details of what has happened. And I might do a video on that actually sometime, but that's just a couple things you can do to help yourself. And tapping is very easy. It's something you can do in the moment when you're feeling really overwhelmed and stressed, because it calms down your amygdala, your nervous system. And it's just another healthy way to handle what's coming up. You're not alone. And I want you to know, and I almost think it's the greatest miracle ever, is I am seeing people with this history all over the place come out and start talking. And that's what we have to do. We have to find our courage and we have to talk out. We have to talk about this, because if enough people do it, we can stop it. We can stop these people. Remember, their greatest secret, their greatest power was secrecy. They don't have the secrecy anymore. Just remember that. Everybody knows about them. They know what they do. Just think about that and what you learned for so long. So why should you keep the secret anymore? You don't have to, because everybody already knows. And it's safe to heal. It's okay to finally go there. I will put in the link below my website. I do have some, like, you can get a tapping video to learn how to tap. It's free. I also have like just a free, you can sign up for my newsletter that I'm trying to do that weekly, at least every couple of weeks. And I just talk about what's going on right now. And if there's any way I can help, just go ahead and you can email me as well. And I will talk to you later.